Okay, guys, thank you very much for joining. I want to welcome everyone. This is a short session, no more than 45 minutes, but it's going to be interesting if we all agree to flow together. The topic we are discussing today is business strategies to drive growth and profitability. And we have a full course. We are a consulting and a training firm. So we have a full course on strategies for growth and profitability. But we just want to give you a bit of it just to whet your appetite and help you begin to see why you need to go for a training like this. So that is the essence of this webinar. It's for continuous learning, just helping us to share our thoughts so that we can add to what we already know and we can also learn new things. So, who is speaking with you? My name is Ike Chukwukalu. I am a marketing professional. I've been in marketing for more than 25 years. I've done marketing at different levels. Okay, and today I am working as a consultant, consulting on both marketing and other areas of the business, including business development. And that is why I think I have the credentials and the competence to talk to you about strategies for growth and profitability. I lecture at the Planetarian University, and I also lecture at LBS. Then I also run my own training programs, which cut across industries. What this does is that it enables me bring all the experience that I've gathered in manufacturing, in telecommunication, in financial services. I bring all of that to bear in the training sessions that I take. So if you listen attentively, you will pick one or two things that will be useful to you in either your career or your business. So let's get into our discussion for today. But first, what do we stand to learn? What are we going to cover in this short period of webinar? The first thing I want us to understand is the concept of value creation. You cannot be in business if there's no value that you're creating. Even at work, you cannot be rated high on your job if you are not creating value. So, let's understand the concept of value creation and see how it impacts on the business and how it drives growth and profitability. That is number one. Number two is the issue of business development. Your business cannot grow unless you develop it. Same with your career. Your career cannot become better unless you develop it. So I would like us to understand what business development means, and let's see how it will help us to drive growth and profitability. And then finally, we'll spend some time to talk about the key success of business, the keys to success of any business, and then the strategies for growth and profitability, which is really the main course that we are taking today. So these are the three things I want you to bear in mind as we start or as we get into the webinar proper. You must walk away from this webinar getting a bit more clearer understanding of what it means to create value. You must walk away from this webinar understanding what business development really means. And then finally, you must walk away from this webinar picking a few strategies. You know, there are so many strategies for growth, but there will be some that are more tailored and more pertinent to the type of business that you are involved with. So as we make a list of them, you will pick from there the ones that you think will work for your business, and then we can engage and discuss it further even after this webinar. Because one thing about us is once you have attended our webinar or our training, you automatically join our alumni program where you have access to us. You can talk to us anytime, you can ask us any questions, and we will provide you answers. Okay, so having said all this, let's get into the first module, which is value creation. I want us to have a value creation mindset. As a business, as an individual, if you are not wired to create value, you're not really going to go too far. So please, let's write it down. Value creation mindset. But before we get into the mindset, first I'd like to ask us, what is your definition of value? How would you define value? Whether you're a fashion designer, or you're an IT expert, or you're in the food industry, you run a catering services, you have an online business, what again, you are a manufacturer, whatever it is that you're doing, okay? How do you define value in the context of what you are doing? Now I know if I pause and ask each person to define value, you might have slightly different definitions depending on what you are doing. If you're selling food, what is value to you? If you're making clothes, what is value to you? If you are an entrepreneur in the area of marketing, what value to you? If you are selling sports administration, sports programs, what does value mean to you? So what I've done is to look for two very distinct but complementary definitions for value, so that we can have that as the basis of our discussion. Value primarily is the putting together of the right combination of quality, service, and price. The putting together of the right combination. So everything that you're selling, be it an idea, be it a physical or a tangible item, it must have the right quality. It must have the service component of it. Because people are not just buying items, now they are buying the service, the way you package it, the way you deliver it, all of that comes to play. And then of course it has a price. So if I come to you and what I'm getting, I cannot reconcile the amount I'm paying with the value I'm getting and the physical item that you are selling to me. I will not be satisfied. This is what Philip Kotler says. And you all know Philip Kotler is a renowned author and teacher of marketing and business strategies. So let me take that again. It is the putting together of the right combination of quality, service, and price. You're selling anything, what is the quality? That's why when you buy something at a time, you say, why am I paying so much for this? That means you do not think that the value or the quality that you are seeing or you're getting matches the amount that you're paying. That way you're not happy. It means that you do not think the combination is right. So value is the right combination of the quality, the service, and the price. But let's go a little further into how Louis DeRose described value. He says that value is the satisfaction of customer requirements at the lowest possible cost of acquisition, ownership, and use. So first, you know the requirement of your customer. How do you meet that requirement? How do you satisfy that requirement? How do you ensure that the customer comes and gets exactly what he wants, but at the lowest possible cost? Some of us think that when things are very expensive, they must be of good quality. Not necessarily. And when things are cheap, again, it will not necessarily mean that it is inferior. Not necessarily, because there are so many strategies that people deploy when they have something that they want to sell to their audience. Okay? But he has put three conditions here. It's about the cost of buying that thing, the cost of owning that thing, and the cost of using the thing. I give you an example. Imagine you are looking for an apartment and you find a very lovely apartment, okay, and you pay for it, only to discover that you need to pay maybe twice that amount to be able to register with the Ministry of Lands and Culture, you can own it, and that area you have to pay so much on using the road, pay so much on electricity and so on. When you put all that together, if it does not match the value that you think you're getting, you will not be satisfied. So he's saying that it is us being able to satisfy the requirements of our customers at the lowest cost. Our customers want to own what they are buying, they want to acquire it and own it and then use it with ease. It is when the cost of acquiring it, owning it, and using it is at the best possible cost That is when they feel that they have received value. Now let me ask you, make a note here. Do you think there's any contradiction between these two definitions of value? If yes, write it down, and when we get to question and answer, I will listen to you and I will provide more concept. Now, so having talked about value, the next thing is, what does it mean to create value? Value creation is being to your customer what he or she wants to be to him or her. Call it your target market, your audience. If you don't know what I want and you are trying to meet a need you don't understand, you're not going to satisfy me. So first is to know what I want. It is when you know what I want, then you can tailor your offering to meet that need. So we're saying here that value creation should be the primary aim of your being in business. That is, you're in business to satisfy the need of your audience, but you must know what that need is. Some of us are in business because we think the business is lucrative, not necessarily because we understand the need of the people we want to service. That is the wrong reason to get into business. You must know the gap that is in that market that you are going to fill. So when you fill that gap, then you are creating value. So that's why we've said here that it is being to your customer what he or she wants it to be to him or her. If you are something different, no matter how good it is, if it's not what I'm looking for, you haven't done much. And I normally use the example of Valentine's. When people want to take each other out on Valentine's Day, it's important that you understand what your VAR considers to be value. If not, you can spend so much money and yet not reach or not meet the need of your VAR. So it's important to understand what your VAR is looking for, and then when you meet it, that is when you can say that you've created value. So for value to be created in a sustainable way, you as a business must have a clear and tangible motivation for being in business. That is, it must be clear to you why you are in business. It is when this happens that then you know that there is a market out there that you are meeting. But when you don't understand even why you are in business, you will be trying your luck on different things. And at the end of the day, you are not able to be the best that you can be. We'll at this point try and understand some of the values that what drive value for different people. In different industries, there will be different value drivers. In different industries. If you are in social services, if you're in a non-for-profit, if you're in manufacturing, if you're in telecoms, there are things that drive value in that business. So value driver simply means what your audience is looking for. Take for example, you want to put your child in a school and you're looking for the best school. There are things you will consider. Maybe the location, maybe the environment where the school is, maybe the fees that they are paying, maybe how many kids in the class. All of these are value drivers that you look at. If you want good quality education, okay, then you must look out for those things that you consider to be of value to you and see if those things are there in that environment. If they are not, you are not likely going to want to do business with them. Okay, so that is what it is. So value creation is giving something valuable to receive something else that is more valuable to you. Okay, it thrives on value drivers. So if I know what you consider to be value to you and I do it, I give you an example. You want us to come and do training for your organization, and you want to what you're looking for is that will they give them certificate? Okay, will the training be held in a good environment? Is the lecturers qualified to take class? These are the things that you're looking for, and these are things you watch out for before you say you are signing up to do any training for you. That is how it works. You must understand what the value drivers are, and then make sure that they are available to do that. Okay, so these are the value drivers. For most industries, it's about the delivery process. What does it take to deliver? It's about operational efficiency. How efficient is the process? It's about cost. Am I going to make some savings if I go with this client or that client? Okay, it's about also how are they able to keep their customers and even their staff. There are some things you ask. If you are going to a company where everyday staff are leaving, you need to find out what is happening there. Okay, it's about how do they manage their image. Are they hiding things, or they are really being who they are and building on their strengths? All of these are things that you consider as your value drivers. And as we conclude on value creation, I want to take two statements from these great guys, Robert Kaplan and David Norton. Let's look at the first one. It says, if customers value consistent quality and timely delivery, then the skills, systems, and processes that produce and deliver quality products and services are highly valuable to your organization. Let me break this down. So, in terms of how you allocate your resources, okay, you must ask yourself, what is important to your customer? If your customers value quality and they value timely delivery, then it makes sense that you put money behind ensuring that whatever they get is of good quality. And it makes sense that you put money behind everything that will make them deliver to you on time. If you leave out these two things that are important to them, and you go and start to say you're building a big office, you want to buy cars, you want to advertise every day, you will be doing the wrong thing, and expecting to get the right answer. It will not work. So value creation simply means find out what your customers' needs are and put your resources behind delivering on them. That is what Robert Kaplan said here. Then David said, if customers value innovation and high performance, then the skills, systems, and processes that create new products and services with superior functionality will take a higher value. Back to the same point of point one, find out what your customer is looking for. Imagine that you want to get a loan in a bank and you want your money quick and sharp, but the bank is busy trying to do a proposal for you, give it to an artist to design it properly, print it with ink and so on, while you need your money to move on. What you need is for them to do their check quickly and give you the money so you can move on. So time is important to you, okay? Promptness is important to you. The rate that they're going to charge you is important to you. You want to know that very quickly so you can move on. These are the things that are important to you. And they are saying that if you know what is important to your customer and you put money behind it, then you are doing the right thing. Okay? Yes, so these are the bits I will share today on value creation. So let's quickly talk about business development mindset. Again, if I ask you to define business development, you will have different definitions of business development, both the classic definition, both the day-to-day definition, But I want us to understand that it simply means taking your business from where it is to a higher level. It means acquiring new customers. It means keeping your existing customers and getting them to serve you more and make you more profit. So this is how I want us to start by defining it, that business development is a set of tasks and processes meant to develop and implement growth opportunities within and between an organization in a sustainable and responsible way. All the tasks, every task, one-on-one. We have this erroneous belief that a BD is somebody who just goes out to go and look for business and bring the business in. It is part of it, but that's not the only thing that the BD does. A BD must have the ability to talk about the business. They must have the ability to sell the business. Talking is marketing. Creating that interest, making people but the hard selling is also part of business development. And when the customer comes in, the ability to keep the customer satisfied is also part of business development. And that is why we have defined it here to say that it is the quality of your marketing. Business development is the quality of the marketing efforts plus your sales efforts and your customer service efforts. These three put together is what business development is. You cannot have success. You cannot have a successful. You cannot make successful. Successful. Okay. So it's about the quality of your marketing efforts, about the quality of your sales efforts, and the quality of your market and your customer service efforts. These three things put together is what business development is about. When you do good marketing, you create the right market. Okay? When you sell professionally, and then when you take care of your customers, these three things put together is what business development is about. So it is marketing plus sales plus customer service. Are you going to be expert in the three of them, in each of them? Not necessarily, but you must understand what you're selling. You must understand the value that what you're selling is carrying, and then you must have the ability to make somebody pay for that thing. Sales is exchanging the value you have created for money from someone who is interested in it. And then the third one, which is customer service, is the way and manner you take care of your audience, your customers. If you get this right, then you have the right, you have a business development mindset. So, as you walk away from this webinar, remember that you need business development to be able to grow your business. And that development then means the right quality of marketing efforts, the right quality of sales efforts, and the right quality of customer service efforts. The three of them put together is what we call business development. When you do this right, it shows in your bottom line, it shows in your profit and loss, it shows in your turnover, it shows in your profits. Okay. So let's get into strategies for growth and profitability. And the first thing I want to talk about is, why do you really need to grow your business? Can't you just stay where you are? Okay, you have two customers and you are serving them, they are paying for what you produce. Why do you want to grow? Why do you want to become more profitable? Why? It's a question that we must ask ourselves. Can't we just remain the way we are? You have a little shop, either inside your house, or you're using your boss quarter to run a small business, okay, and it's profitable in the sense that you are making enough to pay your rent, you're making enough to pay your staff, you're making enough to have something in the bank. So why do you want to grow? It's a question we must ask ourselves, because all of this starts from there. If you don't have a growth mindset, you are not likely going to do well if you want to venture into it. So there are 7 points why you need to grow your business and become more profitable. The first one is sustainability. When you are small, any little thing can drive you out of business. When you are small, okay, any little thing can drive you out of business when you are small. So you need to grow so that the shakes doesn't affect you that much. Number 2, where it is about profitability, the more you expand. If you were doing 10 naira before, you start to do 12 naira, you start to do 4 naira. The more money you put into your business, the more you are getting bigger, the more the profit you also make. So sustainability is number 1. Number 2 is profitability. It will help your profitability. Number 3 is competitive advantage. Where as you begin to get bigger, okay, and you are either adding more items to what you're selling, you're adding more, you're expanding into different areas, okay, you are able to withstand the pressure in the marketplace. Remember, you're not the only one in the marketplace, there are others. For everything you think you're selling, for every idea you think you have, there are others who have similar or even better ideas. So there is always competition. But as you grow, you are able to handle the shocks better. And as you begin to bring in more competencies, you are able to have an advantage over those who are not yet as big as you are. The fourth one is job creation. The bigger you get, the more you're able to bring in more hands. And if you bring in the right type of hands, the right people into your business, okay, it will help you grow and become more profitable. Of course, investors, as you get bigger, you need people to put their money into your business. The bigger you are, the more confident investors will have in putting their money into your business. Then innovation and adaptation. It comes with strength and growth. It's when you are big that you can think of, can I automate everything? Can I use the innovation to drive a couple of my things? Can I do things differently? Because you have the resources to go get into technology because of the size of your business, because of the size of your customer base, because of the size of your profit. Okay, so growth and the profitability, they help you drive innovation because you have resources to be able to put into that. And the seventh point is the skill economy of skill. Okay, the bigger your size, the more you can cut down on your operational costs, and the more you can offer the same thing at a slightly better price. You are not under terrible pressure to want to make all the profit in one go because you are selling to a broad number of people and a broad spectrum of businesses. So these are the 7 points I'd like you to know, which is the reason why every business needs to grow and become profitable. If you're not growing, you will not become sustainable. Your profit will not be sustainable also. You will not have competitive advantage if you're not growing. Everybody just takes care of you because they have bigger muscles than you. You can't attract the right people to work with you. You can't even create jobs because you are small. Okay, so all of these are things that you need to bear in mind as the reason why you need to grow and be profitable. Okay, now keys to success. Okay, the first point here under keys to success is about you have to think strategically. So when you hear the word strategy or strategic thinking, strategic thinking means thinking beyond now. It's long term. You're not just thinking about how much I'm making today and tomorrow. You're thinking about where do I want to be in the next 5-10 years. That is strategic thinking. Okay, you think beyond now. You consider all your options. You consider what's happening in the marketplace, the threats, the opportunities, your strengths, the weaknesses. Then you arrive at where you want to be at a certain time. That is very important if you want to be successful. So growth and profitability is about being successful. The second point I'd like us to talk about here is about operational excellence. Some of us have something good going for us, but it's costing us so much to produce and to deliver it. How do you manage your operational costs so that you don't pay out everything as an expense? So, thinking success means ask yourself, if I introduce technology here, what will I save? It will save you time, it will even save you more money. So you put money behind that because you know it will enhance your ability to serve your customers. And you can do it sustainably in a sustainable way. That's what makes it operational excellence. They can expect to get something right from you today and tomorrow. In some organizations, you see them today, they are doing very well. Tomorrow, they're not doing well because they don't have a process that is working. They don't have an operational excellence mindset. So, anything just goes. They get it right today, they don't get it right tomorrow. So you can't grow like that. The third one is customer focus. You've got to see your customer as king, if you know what I mean. Your customer is the reason why you are in business. You must focus on your customer. Invest in understanding what your customer is looking for. Invest in understanding what will make your customer want to stay with you. Invest in letting your customer understand what is your strength. That is something that they need to pay attention to and work with. Okay? And then the last bit is commitment to learning and improvement. There is room for learning. There is always room for improvement. No matter the degrees we have, no matter our skills and our competencies, there is room for improvement. So when we When we think about these 4 things and we make it part of our day-to-day thinking, okay, make it our mindset, okay, then it helps us to be able to apply strategies. Let me pause here and tell you why we've come all through the way we have. We started with talking about value. Let you understand what value means, and then what is value creation. Then from there we moved on to talk about business development mindset, to say you must understand what it means to develop your business. What does business development mean? And then now we are into the strategies for growth. First, we talked about why do you need to even grow, and now we are talking about the keys to success. So I haven't taken all of this, up to this point. It will not make sense for us to get into strategies for growth. What are the strategies that you need to grow? Let's look at the right side of the screen, where we have strategy for small business growth. Okay, there are things you need to do if you want to grow. Number 1, you have to watch out for the indicators of growth. What are the indicators of growth? Customer numbers. Is your customers growing, or are they static? Adoption of your product. Are people buying your product or not? Okay? Your cost of production. Is it costing you more or less to produce? Are you known in the market? Yes. How are you known? Are you known as doing the right thing, or being a strong brand, or you're known for nothing? What does the name of your company mean to your audience? All of these are things you need to watch out for. That is number 1. Number 2, you need to study competition. You cannot grow without understanding what your competitors are doing. If not, you will make all your efforts and it will amount to nothing because your competitors are far ahead of you. So understand your major competitors, know what it is about them that your audience like, and ask yourself, how do I better them? How do I do better? That is very important. Okay? Now you need people to work with you. You can't do it all alone. No matter the skills you have, no matter the experience, you need people to work with you. So get the right people to work with you. For a small business, get people who have skills that you do not have, so that they can come and complete you. Instead of looking for people who just go and be saying yes sir, yes sir, yes ma, yes sir to you. No, look for people that have skills that you don't really have. Yes, you are the big boss, you supervise them, but let them have skills that will make the business run and run better. The number 4 items I want you to check is about risk assessment. Check. Every business has its risks. You've got to check it all the time. You have to check it all the time. And for every risk you find, ask yourself, how do I mitigate against it? If not, if it comes upon you suddenly, it may swallow you. And God forbid for that to happen to us. So constantly assess your risk and find a way around them. It is when we have done all that we can say we are ready for growth. If not, stay where you are and manage yourself and put all of this together and let them be finely fitted together. It is when you have all of this in place that's when you can say, I'm ready to run. And then you can run and expect that you've run well. So I haven't talked about the criteria, what qualifies you to start to grow and aim for higher profits. Let's now look at strategies that will help us achieve that. Number 1 is make pricing and service promises transparent. There are companies that have started well, but because their pricing and their service promises are not transparent, it has worked negatively for them. They start off doing very well, but because there's no clarity, there's no transparency in their pricing and their service promises, people begin to see it differently, and then it affects them. Number 2 is service culture. Now we are moving away from customer service to service culture. Service culture is the entire business having the customer as their main focus. That is why you can call the MD of the company and say, a customer is asking for this, and the MD will say, let's go ahead and do it, because he understands that the customer is the reason why we're in business. I remember in my days in banking, a marketer can go out and make promises to the customer. When he comes back, those in operation will tell you promise your customer 2 days to get this. It's not possible because it will take them. They're asking for 1 week. Meanwhile, you have already promised your customer that will come back in 2 days. Service excellence aligns everybody together, both the front end and the back end. The people in the field are able to make promises based on what the company says they want to do, and those in the back end will make it happen because it is what the company says they want to do. So, customer service culture comes from the top to the bottom and flows back from the bottom to the top, and that is a winning strategy. When the entire business is aligned on meeting the needs of the customer, you cannot but succeed if this happens in your business. Okay? The third one is, our marketing shouldn't be that of push. Come, see us. No. Let it go of pull. Let your customer experience, become what makes other people come to you. Let your customer tell your story for you. That is the pull we're talking about. Push is you advertising. Today you're advertising. Tomorrow you're advertising. But nobody is speaking on your behalf. Nobody is saying, I have experienced these people. They are good. Talk to them. I am with them. And I know that they are good. Therefore, go to them. So we need to shift our focus from push to pull. Push is advertising, just throwing it out there. This is who we are, this is who we are. Whereas pull is when the people who have experienced you is talking about you and therefore driving business into your business. Okay? Now, flexibility. Our customer relationship must be flexible. I know we all want to have a segmented service delivery. We want to serve your high-value customers right different from, yes, but the basic delivery must be such that anybody who makes contact with your organization feels that they have been well serviced. Okay? Now look for channels that are less cost-effective. Digital channels. Hello? Are we still on? Are we still on?
Yes, we are on, sir.
Yes, sir.
10 minutes.
Why I was bumped off. What was that word again? Okay. So yes. So let's use innovative technology to drive things that we do, particularly if we are in retail. Technology will help you to reach more people, at the same time. Okay. So these are some strategies, like I said at the beginning. These strategies are all there. Not all will apply to you depending on the type of business that you are running. But the very first 4, please, in fact 5 I will apply to all of us. Our pricing and service promises must be transparent. Let's have a service culture where from the MD to the bottom, everyone understands that we're in business because of our customers. And I talked about let our customers become our marketing people, where they are telling their friends to come to us because they have gotten something good. They are getting value from you, and they are proud of the value that they are getting from you. So as I conclude, I like to conclude by first asking us this question: what will you do differently after this training or this session? What will you do differently? Please, if you don't mind, write down this question and answer it to yourself on your own. What have you picked from this lecture, from this session, from this webinar that you think you can apply either in your career or in your business? Okay, we talked about value creation, we talked about business development, and now we talked about strategies for growth. What are you going to do differently? So, number 1, we think that you should focus on creating value for your stakeholders. Let everybody that's involved in your business feel appreciated. Know that they are there because they are getting value. Because whether we like it or not, Our customers know what they're looking for. And where they cannot find it, they will go elsewhere. So let's focus on creating value for them, and that will help us. Number 2 is let us on our business development skills. And remember I said business development is about the quality of your marketing efforts, the quality of your sales efforts, and the quality of your customer service efforts. So we put together is what is business development. Then let us monitor, measure, and control our plan. We all have our plan, but do we monitor it? Do we control it? Do we measure to be sure that things are going as planned? Okay. Now the 4th one, this strategy that we talked about. Let us apply workable strategies. Check the ones that are applicable to your industry, apply them, and you see them work for you. Then finally, let us understand that everything we do as a person, now I'm talking about our personal branding, everything you do as a person adds to your branding. Myself as an individual, everything I do will add to my branding. As an organization, everything we do as an organization will add to the image of our organization. We need to build our brand. We're a brand as individuals, we're a brand as an organization. It is when we do these things that we can be sure that what you want your customer to know and how you want your customer to perceive you is how they will perceive you. Okay? And that's where I will stop here. So thank you very much for listening to me. Now I know there will be questions. If you have been following, you will definitely have made some notes of questions you want to ask. So Omni, over to you. Let's coordinate the questions and let's answer them. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Kalu. This was a very powerful session, and I believe every one of us has learned a lot from this webinar. Even myself, I've learned a lot. And right now, it's question time, and I want us to ask our questions as quick as possible, and we are also going to provide answers to them as quick as possible. So first of all, Emeka Idika, you're raising your hand, so I believe you have a question. So kindly unmute and ask your question.
Okay, can you hear me? Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, it's not actually what was spoken, but from the you didn't say anything about consultative selling. I would have really loved to have a little insight on that. What is consultative selling, sir?
Okay, I will help you on that. Okay. Okay, are you taking on the question at once or?
No, that's not the question I have.
Okay, I was asking money.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so fine. Like I said, this we have a whole training on sales. Okay. But consultative selling, the best way to describe it for you is think about going to see a doctor. Think about going to see a doctor.
Okay.
When you go to a doctor, you're going there because you know that the doctor is an expert. He's trained as a medical person, and he's likely going to have answers to you. Okay. Now, when you get when you go in to see the doctor, he will ask you some questions. He will listen to you. He will let you talk. You will talk. At some point, he will ask you a question. You will talk. It's okay. Let's quickly do some tests. You will do some tests. He'll come back. By the time he's reviewing everything, and he's telling you, this is what you need. Okay? You are not going to argue with it. So, consultative selling is selling to your audience what you have both agreed to be the need that it has. You're not selling to your customer based on your perceived need. No, you're selling to your customer based on the need that has been identified. So you're not saying, take this. So the boys on the street that are telling you, buy this, buy this, and hold up. They're not even interested in what are you looking for? No. You want to sell. That is just selling. But consultative selling is a higher level of selling where you start by understanding the need of the customer and then sell to the customer based on the need that has been identified and agreed upon. So the customer feels he's buying exactly what he needs. as against buying what you think he needs. Okay? So that is what makes it consultative. There is a toing and froing amongst you. You hear from him, he hears from you, you answer his questions, and then he agrees that, oh, this is what I need. So consultative selling is more appropriate for corporate sales. When you are selling something of that is not just retail, okay, but something that may require explanation, may require even some getting into research and all that. It helps you to help your customer to understand that you know what he needs and this is the best that he needs, and leave it to him to choose. So you're not forcing him to buy anything, rather he's buying from you based on the understanding he has that this is the best thing for him. And that's why I have said yes, sales, it's about ensuring that your customer buys exactly what they consider that they need, and that is consultative selling. Thank you.